It's been 117,354,893,870 seconds now. This is some nasty mental math, especially when I factor in the leap years. Not to mention, the Earth's rotation slows by 17 millionths of a second every year. That hardly adds up to anything, though. The first project of the Kingdom of Science is making an antibiotic, a wonder drug that'll kill the hostile bacteria infecting our patient. Since its discovery in the early 20th century, it's saved hundreds of millions of lives. We can't do any blood tests, and we have no idea what she's actually suffering from. But I'm sure it's still worth trying anyway.
Awesome news, you guys! Check this out, you see? I got a whole pot full of miracle food from the cave! And that means we can use this stuff to finally bring back Yuzuriha! I don't hit anyone! You can hit me or kick me or whatever the hell you want to do! But I'm telling you, you gotta stop breaking those statues! Because killing is wrong! End of story! First we thought turning to stone ruined everyone's lives, but I guess it kinda saved yours this time, huh? It's like what you were saying when we made soap. The depetrification. It's a lifesaver in a time without doctors. It's Dr. Stone! Say what? Are you crazy? You mean the same homicidal maniac that killed Senku? I mean, Senku's alive, and Tsukasa used to be a good dude, but still we all thought he had killed Senku, and I'm sure he probably thinks he did!
I mean, I am, but it's not that kind of crying. 'Cause it's not anybody's fault, okay? It's just... this is a lot for me to handle. I haven't been up for a full day, and none of this feels real to me yet. But seeing the great Buddha of Kamakura like this makes me realize that we really are in Japan, and thousands of years have passed by without us. I thought about my mom, and my dad, and everyone else, and I just... Tsukasa thinks I'm Taiji's weakness, someone he has to protect. And in a primitive stone world like this one, it makes sense. That really sounds like an extremely grueling mission, but I'll do it!
Tell me something, Senku. Are you planning to bring back all the greedy, black-hearted adults who ruined the world we came from? Sure. They'll be overly grateful to you right after you help them out, but as soon as civilization returns, the rich and powerful will say things like, "This used to be my property, so you better start paying me rent." Next, they'll try to collect taxes. They'll rob the young people like us of our future all over again. We simply can't bring that kind of world back. We live in the stone world now, a paradise that hasn't been ruined by greed. I think we should only revive the young and pure-hearted, and make sure that we keep this world natural and not owned by anyone. This is our chance to purify humanity. Don't you agree with me, Senku? Your best move would have been to take her while she was still covered in stone and put her deep in the ground somewhere, in a place I couldn't find her. And if I thought of that, there's no chance in hell it never crossed your mind. But for some reason, you didn't do it. Was it for Taiju's sake, or for Yuzuriha's? No. I think it was for both of them.
Amazing. And I'm not talking about the wisdom of Arca whatever. What I mean is how you kept going through every single step until you solved the problem. Your perseverance is amazing. Guess it's time to introduce myself. My name is Kohaku. And honestly, I believe I've taken quite a liking to you. I am not like a gorilla! By the way, why am I the only one who's doing any work here? The two of you need to get off your asses now! We barely have enough manpower as it is! Come on! Again with that shallow strike! Kinro, you've got to break that habit. If you want to fight with a spear, you have to be able to judge distance, or you'll never beat Magma.
Yeah. Would you quit freaking out, Ginro? I'm one step ahead of you as usual. I spotted them from the beach, so of course I ran here as fast as I could. Hey, I'm the one called Crone, bad and insanely smart. I'm the genius sorcerer of the village! Oh, shit! How in the hell would a total outsider like him know about the blue crystals? He must be able to read my mind or something. No way! Is that his kind of sorcery? I didn't even know that was possible! Oh no, I'm so scared, I gotta run away now! That's what I thought would happen. You've defeated me. Please allow me to be your apprentice. Was another possibility. I mean, one or the other, but not like this. I was actually kind of worried what my plan would be if he had asked to become my apprentice. Damn it, I look like an idiot. I can't back down now. I challenge you to one last battle. Just you and me. If you lose, you'll leave the village after you bow to me. If you win, take everything in the shed and I'll work for you.
Sorry, I just want to help you guys. It's kind of hard to be very useful to anyone because I've got this thing on my head. Too bad. I'll wear it my whole life. But if you need some help, I'll do whatever I can.
Yeah, I get it, Suika.
I'm really good at that kind of thing. Because I can turn into a watermelon. I'm an expert snoop. Oh, this? Check it out. It's my little buddy Chuck's favorite toy ever. Dogtail Miller.
Read my work, have you? How wonderful. But that trashy magician barb was cruel. Please call me a mentalist. Look, I apologize for taking the ramen without asking. So please, will you be kind and lower your weapons? My arms and legs are trembling in fear, and I'm worried I may spill this heavenly bowl. I have a simple task, that is to confirm your death beyond any doubt. Tsukasa, Senku is still alive. One little phrase and your fate would be sealed. That was my initial plan. On one hand, there's the scientific creations and ramen and all that, but hellish backbreaking work is just not my style. On the other hand, Tsukasa's settlement lacks science and the food is rather plain, but my work is easy. And if I revive a few hot celebs, I could have the harem of my dreams!
I have a very simple answer. Guards don't have discussions. The rules are the rules. But listening to one murmur to themselves is not against the rules. I've seen it myself. Senku's definitely not an evil person. So do what you normally do. Skip the details and tell us what you want. Either way, although the goal is worthy, rules are rules. I won't throw my match. I'll still fight fairly and with honor. Listen, Magma. Even if everything you say is true, I'd never kneel before you. There are many schemes in this grand bout, but I can only fight honestly and to the best of my abilities. Besides, I'm not the same man I was before. I'm so grateful for science, for Suika, and for Senku! Learn this lesson, Magma. If I'd had this gift of science before, had this vision, I would have surpassed you long ago.
This doesn't seem to be helping at all! When I stab them, they multiply! Okay then. There's no other choice! Special technique! Let someone else handle it! Hey, Crumb, help! It's sorcery! What does a sorcery battle even look like? Ah! They are gonna start shooting fireballs and burn us alive, are they? Please stop! At least don't do anything dangerous! I don't want to die!
I heard what she said, but I don't know how you're gonna be able to do that. I mean, let's be honest here. You obviously have the fuzzy sickness. That's the main reason why you have such a menacing look on your face.
Exactly! Nobody's asking you to cheat, Kinro! Once you hit us, we're just gonna cry out mercy and the match will be over! No problem there, right?
Don't worry, Kinro. You want my opinion? I don't think you're the slightest bit weak. Fear is the secret to a long life, and that should be pretty convincing coming from an old fogey like me. I used to be a real wimp. And I guarantee you those boys are scared too. There's not a soul out there that's immune to fear. Oh, you guys make me a little jealous. Since I was a boy, I've always loved making things. It was such a fun way to spend my time. I made all kinds of stuff, like shields and bridges, while other people just stood back and stared. Even in my old age, I still get looked at as a laborer. Seeing you two working together like this has got me thinking about how much I'd like to have a crafting buddy of my own. I don't need you to inspire me. It's the complicated stuff that gets me fired up anyway. Get over here, Gen. You're with me. You got me so fired up earlier, I've got no choice but to work you to death.
It's what? Hold on. Did I hear correctly that this man's name is Senku? No, sir. Of course I've never met him. How could I have? But yet, I do know him. This Senku. Could he be the one? I brought you out here to tell you. The story ends with a message. One left by Byakuya. I thought you should be the only one to hear it. This is the village cemetery. And this small grave marker was brought here on behalf of your father and the other founders.
At last the time is upon us. Tomorrow, your husband, the new village chief, will be chosen. Turquoise, are preparations for the grand bout proceeding as planned? When those rules were written, nobody expected a hard-headed girl to compete. But I suppose we should just let it be. After all, a man who's unable to defeat a woman isn't fit to be the village chief anyway. This is utter bullshit! Capture that man, right now! We can always rebuild our lost homes. But our people's lives are precious, and we didn't lose a single one, which means Ishigami Village has won this battle! I'm impressed, Senku. I realize that the things you're making are for a completely separate goal. But our little village is slowly becoming a much better place to live. I must say, you ended up being just the man we needed to lead our village into the future.
Anybody over 14 and unmarried can enter. The sacred rules governing the grand bout can't be changed. She competes in the 3rd round. If she hasn't returned by then, she will be disqualified.
Learn to read between the lines a little, Ginro. What else is she supposed to say when you flat out ask her like that?
The new village chief and husband of the priestess is the winner of the grand bout, Senku!
Accidentally? Give me a break. You need to start taking your duties a lot more seriously.
Yes.
No, it was definitely her. Your hunch is correct. Now, Jasper, you heard what Ginro told us earlier. There's no need to lie to save her skin. Obviously not. My word. What should we do now? Who's going to marry Priestess Ruri? Yes. Well, I mean, the preparations are in order, but there is one thing. Why is Kohaku allowed to take part in this again? You need to go and tell her that she can't. I'm still not over Ruri getting a divorce.
You better believe I did! The only reason I came along is to get rid of you two for good! You little wimps act like you're so big and important, but you're completely useless! You can't even hunt! The strongest deserves to be the chief and get all the women! That's how the whole village gets stronger! That's how life works! It's how nature works! Science? My ass! Maybe back in your world the weak controlled the strong, Senku, but not in this one! Cause this is the stone world, and here you're only getting in my way! Damn you, and damn your stupid science, Senku! If you'd never set foot in Ishigami Village back then, I'd be the one in power right now! Because I'm the strongest out of everybody! Senku! I don't care if you're in charge anymore! At least not until we deal with that Tsukasa guy! But if you stop showing me awesome stuff, I'll kill you!
Oh yeah! I bet it was easy for you! Well, I think that she's way too strong to be a normal woman. The only explanation has to be some kind of sorcery.
No! This is horrible! Suika went to pick up some herbs and fell into the river! I'm afraid the poor thing's gonna drown! Kohaku, you're the fastest one here, so you need to go down and help her before it's too late!
No! I'm telling you the truth, I swear! I just happened to be walking by the river when I saw her, and then she fell in!
The elder believes that we should let the man be, that he's no threat as long as he doesn't try to come into the village. Indeed. This winter does seem like an especially harsh one. We have the time since the work's going faster.
Yes, I agree. Perfectly reasonable. I'm worried some poor soul is going to die from the cold this year. We should make a nice hot meal for everybody to eat.
I'm so sick of fish. It's like all we ever eat.
Oh man, something smells amazing.
I've never had anything so chewy and amazingly yummy.
I'm positive it's some criminal we banished a long time ago. I would bet my next meal on it. Oh, I've got to say, this grilled fish is so delicious.
Yeah. I heard Kohaku tried to bring in an outsider. Does anybody know if they were able to get in or where they are now? That's probably why the gods are so angry with us. They don't like that sorcery. Well, I'm hoping that old Senku sees all this and decides to get me something even more awesome for my birthday.
We're putting in a lot of hard work and sweaty labor.
Supposedly he's living in Chrome's shed, but I haven't seen anything for myself. Man, that's tasty! A steaming stew of slippery deliciousness! Hey everybody, listen up! The foreigner and his friends have started destroying the bridge! This is such crazy tough work. I'll be up in a second. Probably. I don't need a man to be handsome or a big pile of muscles. I just want a good provider. It's crazy. Someone who can feed me. Are you the man who made all this incredible food for us? The one called Senku? So what kind of girls do you like?
Yeah, see, I don't really care if he's strong or not. But if the guy's handsome, then I might want to meet him.
Well, if this outsider guy is strong, then color me interested. That's all I care about. We're three beautiful sisters with different tastes in men. I don't understand why we're all still single.
The outcome of our attack was less than ideal, but whining about it now is pointless. As for striking during a storm, it's such an obvious move it might well get us killed. Now that we know Senku is alive, the tables have turned 180 degrees. Let's do this properly. We should return to Tsukasa at once and build as large an army as we can. I imagine they'd try to use those weapons to recreate the pyramid of wealth and influence they once stood upon. No one who has drank of that sweet nectar could be compelled to abandon it. Regardless, this world has been reset. It's in no condition to support 7 billion lives. So there must be a culling.
This wind brings death. So what now? They're working. Making something. A weapon? That fool. Like I would eat this. One bite and I'm dead? There's no way.
Top priorities are how to manage food and how to avoid danger like wild beasts. We'll want a story about minerals too. Someone might come along who takes an interest in rocks and collects them. You can do so much with them, they'll be useful to have around. The first story of the 100 Tales. It'll have to be one that makes them want to head to Japan, where Senku is waiting.
Hey there, Senku! If you're listening to this story, it means you've broken out of the stone. Maybe thousands of years from now. I'm doing great. I mean, I'm already dead by now, but you know. Just as promised, I got you some souvenirs. The friends that the 100 Tales will connect you with.
One day I found a record in the trash. I listen to that thing constantly. Actually, I think I wore out my record player on it. I mean, it really did stop working after a while. When that happened, I started singing for myself. It was just so much fun to sing my little heart out. And now that I'm older, I want to sing for all kinds of people living all over the world. I want to make them smile and feel glad to be alive. If I can give people joy, well, that would make me happy too. The music composed by so many geniuses over thousands of years. Mozart, the Beatles, all of them. It's just now hitting me that we're gonna lose every piece.
Because the world that we want is right here for us. Just taking one small step to hero. I'll take the chance, and when I do, I'll be thinking of the same thing I always do. It's always you.
Hi. I'm a huge fan of yours. Like a super fan. You really going back? We're in the dark. For all we know, you might be petrified when you land. Oh, I know where to go find some food, actually. When we found that man earlier, I saw a farm nearby.
I have no doubt it's very delicious, Byakuya. But it's too much. We've come here to work. And our time is precious. Sorry, fun's not crucial to human survival. You'll have no ground crew to help. It's an unprecedented feat. You could even be petrified while maneuvering. And you've got a son, don't you, old man? A mission like this is meant for a loner. Someone like me. Since humanity had already made it to space, we were lucky enough to survive. And looking back on it, I ended up with a wife and kids that I never imagined I'd have. Guess life wasn't so bad. I had fun since the day we all went to space together.
I thought you were going to give me a heart attack. Both I and Dahlia are experienced doctors. So, if you feel sick, you can come talk to one of us. Come on, why so shy, Connie? You know you want to get her autograph, so go ahead and ask her for one. She won't bite. If you have to, then go somewhere far from the source. Japan's the opposite side of Earth from South America. If that light acts like radiation, you need to stay away from it. And where do we find the key to start this boat? Are we going to search thousands of stone pockets for it? The closest continent is hours
We'll land
away.
on the nearest island.
Forgive my husband. He may roar like a lion, but on the inside, he's a sweet little kitten. You really had us fooled for a moment there. Lucky you weren't being serious, or I would have killed you in no time. Swear to God. It's nice to meet you. I'm Dahlia. That trembling giant over there is my husband, Yakov. If we go to the main islands, we can find antibiotics. You've taken your risks, now we'll return the favor.